The perplexing and often distressing experience of a woman distancing herself, perhaps even to the point of ignoring you, is a relational crucible. It's a moment fraught with uncertainty, self-doubt, and the primal urge to fix things, to restore the connection to its former state. But the instinctive reaction, often fueled by panic and fear, is rarely the most effective or, more importantly, the most self-respecting approach. The true power in navigating this delicate situation lies not in desperately clinging to what was, but in cultivating a calm, composed, and self-assured response that honors your own emotional well-being and fosters genuine personal growth. This isn't about employing manipulative tactics or playing psychological games to win her back. It's about embracing a stoic mindset, focusing on the elements within your control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, while accepting the inherent uncertainty of the situation. In essence, it's about transforming a potential crisis into an opportunity for self-discovery and the strengthening of your own emotional foundation. The journey through this relational maze requires a multifaceted approach, a series of deliberate steps designed to maintain your equilibrium, foster clarity of thought, and approach the situation with wisdom rather than impulsive emotion. Each step builds upon the previous, creating a framework for navigating this challenging terrain with grace, dignity, and a commitment to self-respect. The initial, and perhaps most crucial, step is to actively cultivate calmness and composure. The visceral reaction to a woman distancing herself is often a surge of anxiety, a gnawing unease in the pit of your stomach, and a torrent of racing thoughts. The mind immediately leaps to dissecting past interactions, scrutinizing every word, every gesture, searching for the mistake that triggered this withdrawal. The urge to act, to do something, anything to alleviate the discomfort, becomes almost overwhelming. This might manifest as an incessant need to reach out, to send a flurry of texts, to initiate a phone call, all in a desperate attempt to restore the connection. However, succumbing to this panicked impulse is often counterproductive, pushing her further away rather than drawing her closer. Reacting out of fear communicates insecurity, a quality that is seldom attractive, especially in moments of uncertainty. What feels like a strategic move to recapture her attention often becomes the very thing that reinforces her desire for distance. The most powerful, and often the most challenging, response is to consciously choose calmness, to actively cultivate a sense of inner peace amidst the emotional storm. This is not about suppressing your feelings or denying the validity of your emotions, it's about acknowledging them without allowing them to dictate your actions. Remaining calm in this situation is a powerful demonstration of emotional stability, groundedness, and confidence, qualities that are universally appealing. Emotional stability signals that you are not easily rattled, that you don't crumble when faced with unexpected challenges. It demonstrates that your sense of well-being is not contingent upon constant external validation or reassurance. This kind of self-assuredness is inherently attractive, drawing people in, particularly during periods of uncertainty. Imagine a common scenario: she gradually reduces the frequency of her responses to your messages, perhaps taking hours or even days to reply. The temptation to check in, to inquire if something is amiss, to seek reassurance that everything is still okay, becomes almost unbearable. The urge to send multiple texts, pressing for an explanation for her silence, can be overwhelming. But a crucial truth must be recognized: silence, in itself, is often a form of communication. When she withdraws, it's not an invitation to chase her, it's a signal that she requires space to process her own thoughts and emotions. By respecting this need for space, you afford her the opportunity to miss you, to reflect on the relationship, and to arrive at her own conclusions about her desires and needs. Over-communicating during this period will likely overwhelm her, exacerbating the distance between you. While granting her this space, it is imperative to actively focus on yourself, maintaining your equilibrium by immersing yourself in activities that bring you fulfillment. This might involve dedicating more time to your work, pursuing your hobbies, spending quality time with friends and family, or engaging in personal growth endeavors. This demonstrates, both to her and, more importantly, to yourself, that your world does not revolve solely around her responses. You are a complete individual, with a rich and fulfilling life independent of her presence. This self-sufficiency is incredibly attractive. Instead of being the one seeking validation, you become the one offering something substantial, someone she can rely on and admire. Consider this concept through the lens of Stoic philosophy. As Epictetus wisely observed, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You cannot control her decision to withdraw, but you have absolute control over your response. This is where your true power lies. By maintaining calmness, you preserve your dignity and demonstrate that you are not easily swayed by external events. Your emotional composure reflects your inner strength, a quality that will not go unnoticed. This calmness is not merely a passive waiting game, it's an active demonstration of self-control, a cornerstone of Stoic virtue. You are not reacting impulsively, you are responding thoughtfully, with patience and purpose. The more adept you become at staying grounded and composed, the more effectively you set the tone for future interactions. Women are naturally drawn to men who maintain their center, who are not easily thrown off balance by external events such as temporary silence. Reflect upon the significance of remaining calm and composed when a woman distances herself. Consider how you can integrate these Stoic principles into your relationships. How do you typically respond in moments of uncertainty? How might the practice of emotional stability impact your relationships? Following the initial cultivation of inner calm, the next vital step is to respect her need for space. This is an area where many men err, attempting to fix things prematurely, believing that a simple conversation or explanation will instantly restore the relationship to its previous state. However, when a woman withdraws, it's not necessarily an indication that you need to do more. In fact, sometimes the most effective course of action is to do absolutely nothing, at least for the time being. What she likely needs is time and space to process her own internal landscape of thoughts and emotions. Pressing for a resolution too quickly can backfire, making her feel overwhelmed or pressured, which will only widen the chasm between you. Respecting her space is a clear sign of maturity and emotional intelligence. By doing so, you communicate a powerful message: I trust that you know what you need right now, and I will not interfere. This demonstrates that you are confident and secure enough to step back without needing constant reassurance. It conveys that you are not desperate for her attention or validation, which is an inherently attractive quality. Desperation repels, while calm detachment draws people in. Furthermore, allowing the relationship to breathe provides both of you with the opportunity to reflect and potentially rediscover the qualities that initially brought you together. Imagine this scenario: you have been seeing each other regularly, enjoying quality time together, and things seem to be progressing smoothly. Suddenly, she begins to withdraw, responding to your texts less promptly or declining invitations to spend time together. It's natural to feel confused and even anxious in this situation. Your instincts might compel you to push for more time together, to force a conversation about the underlying issues. However, this is precisely where many men falter. Instead of pushing for more engagement, the wisest approach is to step back and allow her to come to you on her own terms. This doesn't mean completely ignoring her or engaging in manipulative mind games, it simply means granting her the space she needs to reflect and process whatever she is experiencing internally. This may be difficult initially, especially if you are eager for answers or to resolve the situation. But the alternative, chasing after her, will only create more tension and likely push her further away. People need space to think clearly, and by respecting her boundaries, you provide her with the opportunity to miss you and reassess the relationship without feeling suffocated. Within the framework of Stoicism, we are reminded to focus solely on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. This principle is particularly relevant in situations like these. You cannot control her emotions, her need for space, or her pace in deciding how to proceed. However, you can control your reaction to her actions. Instead of attempting to force things back to normal, utilize this time to focus on yourself, continue your personal growth, pursue your hobbies, and maintain your own sense of fulfillment outside of the relationship. This not only keeps you grounded but also demonstrates that your emotional state is not dependent on someone else's validation or attention. Remember the powerful words of Marcus Aurelius: the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. If you focus all your energy on controlling her actions or feelings, you will only feel more out of control and anxious. However, when you relinquish the need to control the situation, when you allow her to have the space she needs without interference, you regain your own peace of mind. This emotional freedom is invaluable, not only for you but for the relationship as well. It provides her with the space to reflect, and it prevents you from falling into the trap of overanalyzing or overreacting. Once you have centered yourself and respected her space, it's time to engage in meaningful self-reflection. This period offers an opportunity to analyze the situation and your role in it, without succumbing to overanalyzing or jumping to premature conclusions. When a woman withdraws, it can stem from a multitude of factors, some of which may have absolutely nothing to do with you. At other times, there may have been subtle signals or shifts in the dynamic that you overlooked, contributing to her decision to take a step back. The goal here is not to assign blame either to her or to yourself, but rather to comprehend the larger context with clarity and honesty. Self-reflection is a potent tool when used constructively, allowing you to step back and assess the situation without being clouded by emotion or impulsivity. During this period, pose several important questions to yourself. Have there been any recent conflicts or misunderstandings that could have contributed to this distance? Were there moments when her energy shifted, even subtly? Could there be external factors in her life, such as work-related stress, family issues, or personal challenges, that might be influencing her engagement with you? For instance, imagine you had a minor disagreement the last time you were together. Perhaps at the time, it seemed insignificant, a fleeting comment or a slight misunderstanding that you quickly dismissed. But now, with her pulling away, you begin to wonder if that moment carried more weight for her than you initially realized. Reflect on how that conversation unfolded. Did you genuinely listen to her concerns, or did you inadvertently dismiss her feelings without fully realizing it? Was something left unresolved? This kind of honest introspection can provide valuable insights into what might be occurring beneath the surface. It is crucial to remember that self-reflection is not about obsessing over every minute detail or engaging in harsh self-criticism. Instead, it's about approaching the situation with an open mind and a willingness to understand the truth, regardless of how uncomfortable it may be. As Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "He who is brave is free." It requires a certain degree of bravery to confront the truth, to examine yourself and your actions with honesty and humility. But this bravery is also liberating. When you face the truth head-on, you free yourself from the anxiety and uncertainty that arise from not knowing what went wrong. This kind of introspection helps you gain clarity, and with clarity comes emotional strength. Original video content featuring quotes from Seneca, accompanied by visual representations of his philosophy. Whether or not you uncover a specific reason for her distancing herself, you will emerge from this process with a deeper understanding of the situation and of yourself. Perhaps there is nothing you did wrong, and her need for space is primarily related to her own personal challenges. Or perhaps there are areas where you can grow and improve, not just for the sake of the relationship but for your own personal development as well. Within Stoicism, we are encouraged to practice self-awareness and engage in continuous reflection, not as a form of self-punishment but as a means of cultivating wisdom and strength. Reflecting on the situation provides you with the opportunity to learn, adjust, and approach future interactions with a clearer mind and a steadier heart. Instead of being consumed by doubt or fear, you can face the situation with the confidence that comes from understanding the larger context and being in tune with yourself. This reflection phase also provides an opportunity to practice gratitude for the relationship and the lessons it has offered, regardless of the ultimate outcome. Every interaction, even the challenging ones, presents us with something to learn. Utilize this time to reflect not only on the potential causes of her distance but also on the value that this moment offers for your personal growth. When you can reflect with this perspective, you'll discover that even in uncertainty, you are gaining something valuable. As you dedicate time to reflecting on the situation, consider how this moment of introspection can lead to personal growth and deeper emotional awareness. Self-reflection, when approached with honesty and openness, is a gift that allows you to see the bigger picture and align with your true self. Whether you find clarity regarding the reason for her distance or recognize areas for your own growth, this process is essential for building stronger connections in the future. Following self-reflection, one of the most empowering actions you can take during this period of distance is to redirect your focus back onto yourself. This isn't about passively waiting for her to reach out or obsessing over her thoughts, it's about actively investing in your own personal growth and development. This approach serves two primary purposes. First, it helps you regain your confidence and sense of control, and second, it demonstrates that you are not reliant on her for your happiness. Women are inherently drawn to men who are on a path of self-improvement. When you are actively working to become the best version of yourself, it signals that you are thriving independently, which is incredibly attractive. Take this opportunity to focus on your physical health, mental well-being, and personal goals. Whether it's initiating a new workout routine, developing a new skill, or simply spending more quality time with friends, these actions not only boost your confidence but also communicate that your life is full and meaningful, with or without her presence. For example, let's say you've always wanted to pursue a new hobby, such as learning to play the guitar, exploring painting, or embarking on a fitness journey. Now is the perfect time to delve into that interest. By pursuing these passions, you are not only improving yourself but also filling your time with activities that enrich your life. When she sees that you are focused on growth and self-betterment, it sends a subtle but powerful message: you are confident, self-sufficient, and continuously evolving. This serves as a reminder of what she might be missing, not through manipulative tactics, but through your authentic journey of self-improvement. This period of distance is not a time to remain idle or dwell on factors beyond your control, it's an opportunity to become the man you aspire to be. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This is your moment to embody that philosophy. Don't simply talk about the kind of man you want to be, take action to become him. Whether she notices or not, the true victory lies in your own personal growth. Stop dwelling on what she is doing or when she will reach out. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do today that will make me a better version of myself tomorrow? By focusing on your own growth, you will not only regain your sense of confidence and control but also create a life that is worth living, regardless of the ultimate outcome. And that is the real win. At some point, you will likely feel the urge to reach out and initiate contact. How you communicate in that moment is critically important. Many men make the mistake of reaching out from a place of desperation, sending emotionally charged messages or demanding explanations, hoping for immediate reassurance. But the truth is, desperation is unattractive. It signals that you are not in control of your emotions, and that's the last impression you want to convey. When you decide to reach out, the key is to communicate in a way that is calm, clear, and assertive, without appearing needy. Your goal is to demonstrate that while you are open to communication, you are not dependent on it. You respect her space, and you are emotionally stable, regardless of her response. Desperation communicates insecurity, while assertiveness communicates confidence. For example, instead of sending multiple frantic messages like, "Why aren't you answering?" or "Are you mad at me?" take a more composed approach. You might say something like, "Hey, I noticed you've needed some space that I just wanted to let you know that I'm here whenever you're ready to talk." This message is clear and respectful. It shows that you are aware of her need for distance but also mature enough to offer communication without pressuring her. By framing your words in this way, you create an environment where she feels free to engage when she's ready, without feeling overwhelmed or pushed. Communicating assertively also involves setting healthy boundaries for yourself. You're not just waiting for her to respond, you're living your life in the meantime. When you demonstrate that you can handle the situation calmly and without falling apart, it conveys emotional maturity and self-respect. This approach not only strengthens your connection but also increases the likelihood of a productive conversation when she does choose to respond. Within Stoicism, Epictetus teaches us the importance of listening over speaking. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This principle is particularly relevant when reaching out. When the conversation finally occurs, focus on listening more than speaking. Show her that you are not simply trying to get your point across or seeking validation, you are genuinely interested in understanding her perspective. This type of communication fosters a deeper connection because it demonstrates that you are present, grounded, and respectful of her feelings. By communicating assertively rather than desperately, you set a tone of respect and maturity. You show her that while you value the relationship, you are not dependent on her for your emotional stability. In doing so, you create an environment where honest, meaningful dialogue can take place, leading to a healthier and more balanced connection. Navigating this challenging situation also requires you to manage your expectations. It's natural to hope that when you reach out, she will respond quickly, perhaps even apologize, and everything will return to normal. But the reality is, you cannot predict her reaction. She may open up, or she may still need more space. Either way, you must be mentally and emotionally prepared for any outcome. This is one of the key lessons of Stoicism, the importance of accepting things as they are, rather than how we wish them to be. When emotions are running high, it's easy to become attached to a particular outcome. You might hope for reconciliation or expect her to respond in a way that reassures you. But clinging to these expectations can lead to disappointment if things don't go as planned. Stoicism teaches us to release the need to control the situation and instead focus on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions. Whether she returns to you or decides to continue distancing herself, your peace of mind should not be tied to her response. You need to find inner stability, regardless of how she reacts. After you send that composed, thoughtful message, don't spend your day glued to your phone, anxiously awaiting her reply. Instead, go about your day, engage in activities that keep you grounded and focused on your own life. It's essential to remain mentally prepared for any response, positive, negative, or none at all. If she replies and the conversation goes well, that's a positive step. But if she doesn't, that's okay too. The goal is to maintain your own sense of calm and composure, no matter what the outcome. This is where Stoic wisdom truly shines. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You cannot control her decisions or how she feels, but you can control how you respond. By focusing on your own thoughts and reactions, you regain your strength. Strength doesn't come from external validation or her response, it comes from within, from your ability to remain centered even in uncertain or challenging situations. Managing your expectations isn't about giving up hope, it's about freeing yourself from the need to control the uncontrollable. It's about finding peace in the process rather than being fixated on the result. By doing this, you protect your emotional well-being and demonstrate the kind of calm, self-assured presence that is deeply attractive. Ultimately, the only thing you can truly control is how you carry yourself, and that inner stability will serve you well, no matter how the situation unfolds. Furthermore, it is absolutely crucial to avoid falling into the trap of playing games. It's tempting, especially when she withdraws, to want to make her jealous or react to her distance by showing her what she's missing. You might feel the urge to post something on social media that implies you're having fun without her or even ignore her back just to see if she'll chase you. But these tactics are driven by insecurity and rarely produce the results you desire. In fact, they often backfire, creating more distance and tension between you. When you play games, you're not acting from a place of strength or authenticity, instead, you're reacting out of fear or frustration. Manipulating her emotions might seem like a way to regain control of the situation, but in reality, it only damages trust. She will likely see right through it, and rather than pulling her closer, it will likely push her even further away. In contrast, when you choose to be authentic and genuine, you create a foundation of real attraction. Authenticity demonstrates confidence, and confidence is far more attractive than manipulation ever will be. Perhaps you are tempted to post a picture with another woman or flaunt how much fun you're having without her. Instead of resorting to these tactics, simply live your life authentically. If you are genuinely having a great time with your friends, feel free to share that, but not with the intention of making her jealous or provoking a reaction. When your actions stem from a place of self-assurance rather than an attempt to play mind games, you show her that you don't need to stoop to petty tactics. You are secure enough in yourself to avoid unnecessary drama. Marcus Aurelius once said, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it." Original video content featuring quotes from Marcus Aurelius, accompanied by visual representations of his philosophy. When you act out of frustration, jealousy, or spite, the damage it causes is far worse than the brief satisfaction you might feel in the moment. Playing games might provide you with a temporary sense of control or relief, but in the long run, it often leads to regret, misunderstandings, and hurt feelings on both sides. The wiser path is to rise above the games, maintain your dignity, stay true to yourself, and focus on handling the situation with maturity and respect. Not only will this keep you on solid ground emotionally, but it will also communicate to her that you are someone who values honesty and self-respect over mind games and manipulation. In doing so, you set a higher standard for the relationship and for how you want to be treated in return. When she finally reaches out or you get a chance to talk, the most valuable thing you can provide is a sense of emotional safety. This doesn't mean that you excuse her behavior or avoid discussing important issues, but it does mean creating an environment where she feels safe to be vulnerable and honest with you. If she feels judged, attacked, or misunderstood, she is likely to shut down again, making it difficult for the relationship to move forward. Your goal is to ensure she feels heard, valued, and understood, even when the conversation becomes challenging. Imagine she contacts you after a week of no communication. It's natural to want answers right away. Questions like, "Why did you ignore me?" or "What's been going on?" may be swirling in your mind. However, diving straight into confrontational questions can make her feel cornered or defensive. Instead, approach the conversation with curiosity and empathy. Begin by asking how she has been feeling during the time apart. Give her the space to share her thoughts and emotions without interrupting or reacting defensively. This shows her that you are emotionally mature, patient, and capable of handling whatever she has to say, whether it's easy to hear or not. When she feels safe enough to open up, resist the urge to judge or criticize. Focus on listening intently to what she is saying, not just the words but the emotions behind them. Let her know that you value her perspective, even if it's different from yours. This level of emotional stability on your part can make a profound difference. If you can stay calm and composed, it shows her that you are in control of your own emotions, which in turn allows her to feel more secure around you. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By mastering your emotions, you not only maintain your inner peace but also create a safe emotional space for her to express herself freely. In doing so, you become a source of comfort and stability. The more calm and open you remain, especially during tough conversations, the more she will feel that she can trust you to handle difficult moments. This trust will strengthen your connection and bring her closer to you because she will feel confident that you are someone she can rely on, no matter what the situation may be. Furthermore, in navigating this challenging situation, it's crucial to maintain a focus on the bigger picture. It's easy to get caught up in the intensity of the present moment, especially when emotions are running high. In these situations, you might feel the urge to react impulsively or make decisions based on fleeting feelings. But this is where Stoicism teaches us the importance of stepping back and focusing on the larger context. Relationships, like life itself, are full of ups and downs, and a single moment, whether positive or negative, doesn't define the entire journey. Just because she's distant right now doesn't mean the relationship is over. And conversely, even if everything feels great at the moment, it's still vital to assess the overall direction of your connection. By adopting a broader perspective, you can maintain clarity and wisdom. Instead of being driven by a single instance of distance or conflict, you are able to think about the long-term health of the relationship. This kind of thinking also allows you to reflect on your personal growth. Relationships are not just about being with someone, they are also opportunities to evolve and learn. Maybe this period of distance is just a minor setback in an otherwise strong relationship, or perhaps it's an indicator that some things need to change for the relationship to move forward in a healthy way. The key is not to overreact in the heat of the moment. Zooming out and considering the bigger picture helps you make decisions with wisdom rather than emotion. Is this temporary distance just a phase that will pass, or is it revealing deeper issues that need to be addressed? By viewing the situation holistically, you give yourself the space to evaluate it without letting frustration or anxiety cloud your judgment. Epictetus wisely remarked, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Original video content featuring quotes from Epictetus, accompanied by visual representations of his philosophy. This moment, whether it's a week of silence or a single disagreement, is just a small part of the larger narrative of your relationship. Don't let one difficult phase define how you view the entire relationship or your own emotional well-being. Stoic wisdom reminds you to stay steady and not allow a temporary situation to dictate your overall perspective. By focusing on the bigger picture, you are also allowing yourself the opportunity to grow. Every relationship has moments of tension, distance, and challenge, but how you navigate these moments shapes the course of your connection. By stepping back, reflecting on the larger context, and maintaining your emotional equilibrium, you will be better equipped to guide the relationship in a way that serves both of your long-term needs. The goal is to build a healthy, sustainable relationship, one where momentary difficulties don't derail the larger journey. Finally, in any relationship, while we naturally hope for the best, it's crucial to be prepared for all possible outcomes. Maybe she returns, maybe she doesn't. Either way, you need to be ready to move forward with your life, with or without her. This isn't about giving up hope, it's about cultivating a mindset of resilience and independence. By releasing your attachment to a specific outcome, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. You are no longer trapped by the fear of what might or might not happen. Instead, you can move forward, grounded in confidence, knowing that you will continue to grow and thrive, regardless of the circumstances. If she decides to move on, it doesn't mean you failed. Relationships end for many reasons, and sometimes it's simply because the connection wasn't right for her. Yes, this realization may sting, but it's important to understand that this is not a reflection of your worth. It's an opportunity for you to open new doors and embrace new possibilities. Every relationship, successful or not, offers valuable lessons. Take those lessons with you into the future, but don't let them hold you back. Growth comes from moving forward, not staying stuck in the past. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Original video content featuring quotes from Marcus Aurelius, accompanied by visual representations of his philosophy. This insight is particularly important when faced with uncertainty in a relationship. Even if this chapter comes to an end, there are still positives to focus on. You've grown, learned more about yourself, and gained wisdom from the experience. Let your thoughts reflect that, shape your reality by focusing on hope, growth, and what lies ahead, rather than clinging to what has already passed. Being prepared to move forward doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you care enough about yourself to prioritize your own well-being. If she comes back, you'll be ready to embrace the relationship with a new understanding. If she doesn't, you'll be ready to continue your journey with strength and resilience. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control external outcomes, but we can control how we respond to them. So whether the relationship continues or ends, you remain in control of your own path, constantly growing and moving forward. As we conclude our exploration of how to handle the situation when a woman withdraws, it's vital to reflect on the insights we've shared. Remember, the essence of our discussion isn't merely about rekindling a connection but nurturing your self-respect and emotional resilience. This approach not only helps in managing personal relationships but also fosters substantial personal growth. We've navigated through practical steps and Stoic philosophers to help you maintain composure and wisdom in the face of relationship challenges. The core message here is to focus on what you can control, your actions and your reactions. As you implement these strategies, you're not just aiming to influence the dynamics of your relationships but also to fortify your inner strength and serenity.